Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Mystical Teachings. Brian here, and today I'm going to do a card comparison and share my thoughts on the pros and cons of two cards that have similar but uniquely different effects. The cards I'd like to talk about today are Bile Blight and Ultimate Price. These two cards are both currently in standard at the time of this recording, and choosing between the two is one that comes up quite often when building decks for the format. I'll give a quick review of what the cards do and how I feel they belong in certain types of decks. First up, Bile Blight. An instant from Theros, this card casts for black and gives target creature, and each creature with the same name, -3/-3. No secondary ability here, as the rest of the card is filled with flavor text. Not an arrow loose, javelin thrown, nor sword raised. None were needed. You'd think it'd be something for a more peaceful card, but if only that were true. Second, we have Ultimate Price. Originally printed in Return to Ravnica, it saw itself reprint in Dragons of Tarkir. Casting for 1 in black, Ultimate Price destroys target monocolored creature at instant speed. Seeing as I prefer the Tarkir art better, I'll go with the flavor text on that one. The realization that one is dying is far more terrifying than death itself. Sidisi, Silumgar Vizier. Oof, morbid. Right away you can see multiple similarities between the two cards. For one, they are both 2 mana removal spells in black. A removal spell being a card that destroys or removes a permanent in play, usually referring to a creature. They are both instant speed, crucial when wanting to add some complexity and versatility to your strategy by allowing you to respond to any pump spells or tricks your opponents have. From there, the similarities trail off, and that's where the decision-making aspect of this game comes into play. Bile Blight is great for removing small creatures, and especially fantastic against token decks that try to spam multiple cards of the same name in play. It can serve as a 2-mana board wipe at the right situation. Being a toughness production also helps gets around indestructibility and regeneration. Dealing with X4s and creatures with greater toughness than 4 is the downside of this card, since it requires either some action in the combat step or multiple copies. Ultimate Price is the current iteration from a long list of 1 and a black removal spells. Just like cards such as Doomblade, Gopher Throat, and the original Terror, this card is high quality removal with up and downsides. No need to worry about toughness here, just check the mana cost of a card to see only one color and consider the price paid for that creature at hand. The biggest downside here is the restriction of what cards it can kill. In today's standard, creature cards like Fleecemane Lion, Rakshasa Death Dealer, and all the Dragon Lords are multicolored and can't be touched by Ultimate Price. Also, morphs and artifacts can't be touched either. No color does not equal monocolored. Which of these cards would I play? That depends on 2 factors, the metagame and what type of deck I'm playing. The metagame, in short, is the types of decks that are seeing play, how popular they are, and how you want to approach the format. Let's isolate and ignore the metagame as a factor for this upcoming discussion, since that is usually ever changing. Instead, let's focus on something we can control, what type of deck we are playing. There are 4 types of decks that are popular and seeing play that I think would be using one of these cards. Abzan decks, Mardu, Blue-Black, and Esper. When it comes to Abzan, I think of Abzan 2 ways, aggro variants and the control variants. In aggro, I'm leaning towards having Ultimate Price over Bile Blight. I'm going to have a lot of early creatures, and I'm going to bank on those creatures being more powerful than my opponent's earlier creatures to get through. The trouble cards for me will be cards like Courser of Kruphix, Pelucranos, Surak the Huntcaller, and Stormbreath Dragon, all monocolored creatures that have a toughness greater than 3. If I was in control, I think I'd be leaning more towards Bile Blight. I'm more likely to be playing cards like Hero's Downfall and Abzan Charm to deal with larger creatures, but my main concern is damage I'd be taking from Thoughtseize and Abzan Charm's draw ability. In Mardu, I'm leaning towards Ultimate Price once again. Having access to red allows me to have cards like Lightning Strike and Wild Slash to deal with early drops, and Ultimate Price fits nicely in the curve to help kill larger creatures while allowing me to save my downfalls for more troublesome permanents like Planeswalkers. Esper and Blue-Black seem very similar, but there is one big difference between the two: mana. I'm taking Bile Blight in straight Blue-Black, but Ultimate Price in Esper because of the mana. It's much easier to hit black when you need in Blue-Black than it is in Esper. I push Bile Blight into the sideboard for Esper control and bring it in against token and red decks and hope that the Ultimate Price does the job in game 1s against those decks until I get a Dragon Lord or Elspeth to clean up. In short, The two cards are very efficient removal spells that have their respective pros and cons. Being able to analyze the metagame that you'll be playing in and what your deck is trying to accomplish is pretty important in making a decision. It's also a decision to play with both of them, but remember not to dilute your deck with too many answers and not enough threats. That's my analysis of these cards. Let me know what your thoughts are. See you next time, and thanks for watching.